It didn't kill me, but it made me stronger, though, because I asked myself, did you die, though? Yeah. Confessions of a Widow.
Yeah. Trying to piece it back together, I've been stressing. I ain't been the same since I lost my best friend. My thoughts is crowded, don't know what to do about it. So I figure I should sit down and talk about it. Weight of the world on my shoulders, but still I go hard. So I created a session called the Report Card. 4 C's and 2 F's, the C stands for comedy, cooking, crafting, and Christianity. The 2 F's is fashion and fitness. Then I do the Comical confessions to tell you all of my business. They ask me how am I doing and I can't lie though. Yeah, damn near killed me, but did you die though? Confessions of a widow, widow, widow. But did you die though? Confessions of a widow, widow, widow. But did you die though? Nope, nope. But did you die though? But did you die though?
It didn't kill me, but it made me stronger, though, because I asked myself, did you die, though? Yeah. Confessions of a Widow.
Welcome to episode 2. But did you die, though? Confessions of a Widow. Shout out to everybody for tuning in to episode 1 and writing in and commenting and following. I love y'all so much. I got some great comical confessions that people wrote in. I cannot wait to read them and give y'all free gifts. So just starting off showing major love, and I appreciate that so much. If you want to join in, listen, you can join now. We about to have a hot episode, but listen, before we even get into it. Listen, like, follow, comment at Carmen Comedy. Jump on my YouTube if you listen to another podcast. I got some funny clips on there of everything going on with me. I appreciate y'all. Welcome to Ghetto Girl Studio. Listen, this is Ghetto Girl Studio where we going down at. We going down live every Tuesday, and I'm telling y'all right now, we filming this in Ghetto Girl Studio. We filming this in Ghetto Girl Studio. So you might hear dogs barking, you might hear people outside fighting. Listen, ain't no telling what's gonna go on, but we keeping it real and we keeping it live. Ghetto Girl Studio. Listen. Where the bills is paid and my edges is laid, baby. We ain't gonna do this nowhere else but Ghetto Girl Studio. Welcome to episode 2 of But Did You Die, though? Confessions of a Widow. So listen, let me just be honest. Y'all ain't holding back with the questions and the requests and the comments, and everybody want to know about my dating life. Yes, I'm dating, okay? So we're going to just jump right into it for this good episode, too. The name of this episode is going to be simple. Dating while dead inside. Because I really wasn't ready to date when I started dating. You know what I'm saying? I waited about a year, you know, and then dudes was just like coming at me. And I was really not ready, but, you know, I jumped on out there. And I started dating. And listen, it's been 4 years, and we touched on this last week, which was the 4-year anniversary. And listen, if my husband had died, I wonder how long he would have waited. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got real personal in the questions and was asking me how long did I wait before I had sex. Nosy ass, what make you think I done had sex? Okay, it's been 4 years. I'm a grieving widow. Why would you assume that I've been out here hunching? Okay, what I have. But I'm going to tell y'all this. It wasn't because I wanted to, okay? It was not because I wanted to. I did not want to, okay? Listen, I am still very much in love with a dead man, and I know it's sad, but it's the raw and honest truth. I love my husband, and when you start dating, the honest part about it is that everybody that you come across, you will compare them to your lost loved one when you're a widow. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it's really difficult on the man's side because they'll never compare. Because at the end of the day, I felt like Anthony Nicholas Carthan, better known as Nick, was the love of my life. He was my soulmate. He was so good to me. He loved me so much. And he was so fine and sexy with that beard, you know. So finding somebody else is going to be kind of impossible, right? Listen, I'm going to snatch a page from Lauren London. Let me get the exact quote right. Lauren London Lauren London says she has no desire to be with another man ever again after Nipsey Hussle's passing because she has already experienced true love with him. Listen, I felt that in my soul. Do you understand me? Because I felt like I had the love of my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, when you have experienced true love, nothing compares to that. And you don't have to chase that, you know? So I feel like what I experienced with my husband was something so special, so magical, that I'm good. You heard the saying, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And I used to hate that saying when my husband first died because I was like, no, it's not better. But actually, yes, it is, because I know women personally who have lived their whole grown life. They in their 50s and they have never ever had anyone love them. They may have been in love, but it's different from when you were in love until you have somebody loves you. And so, you know, I recognize that, and I recognize and understand where Lauren London is coming from. You know, nobody wants to continue to go out here and date and start all over. But when you lose a spouse and you want to get yourself out there, you got to do what you got to do. Now, am I going to go as far as to say that I will never love again or never date again? I'm not going to say that, because I got some cute ass outfits. We're going to get into them later during a report card session. And these outfits need to be seen, okay? I need to get myself out here and date. You understand what I'm saying? I got too many cute clothes to just be sitting in the closet and not dating. And some of the clothes just look good with a nice, tall, handsome brother on your arm. You know what I'm saying? They look good when you're by yourself too. But, you know, you got outfits that are great dating outfits. And I do date myself. That's the most important thing, is that we date ourselves. Listen, I had someone in the comments on one of my videos say something to the effect of being single is being miserable, or if you single, you miserable. And I'm gonna tell y'all that is the most common misconception of single being miserable. That is the most common misconception that people have, is that if you single, you miserable. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm anything but miserable. Even dealing with the traumatic loss that I have dealt with, you know, with my husband who practically died in my arms. It was traumatic, and I'm grieving and I'm sad, but I'm telling you one thing, I'm still not miserable. I may have moments of being miserable and rehashing what I went through, but I'm very much happy, because I'm gonna tell you something. You have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you can be in a perfect relationship. You're not going to be happy. Happiness comes from within. So just because you're single don't mean you miserable. And just because you with somebody don't mean that you happy. Because I know plenty of miserable married people. I know plenty of people that are in relationships and are miserable. I know plenty of people who stunning in front and for the gram, acting like they happy, but in real life, they miserable. So never ever believe that, okay? My happiness comes from within, and because I'm happy, a genuinely happy person on the inside, I don't need someone to complete me or to make me happy. So I get what Lauren London is saying. I don't have to have someone, but I'm definitely going to date. You know, it's so sad because I was an amazing wife. You know, being a wife was one of the few things that I'm good at, because I be fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying? I be bad at a lot of things, but being a comedian and being a wife, I had that shit down. You know, y'all already see how I get down in the kitchen. I play no games. And I'm just a natural nurturer. You know, I'm a natural, loving, nurturing person. And being a wife to Nick Carthan and being a stepmom to his daughter Chrisette was the highlights of my life. You know, I was an amazing stepmom. I was an amazing wife. And those things were ripped from me. And as sad as it is, I'm still an amazing person without those extensions. And so get out and date yourself, ladies. One thing about it, when I feel better when I look better. So I noticed those days where I was down and out and feeling depressed and couldn't get myself going. When I would force myself up and out, I would put on a cute outfit, put on some makeup, little jewelry, cute shoes, cute bag, and I wouldn't have nowhere to go half the time. I think my favorite place was Walgreens. I would be all dressed up looking like I'm going to a Beyonce concert, and I'd be just going to Walgreens. But when you look better, you feel better. And when you're single, you really want to look your best at all times. I feel like it's important to fix yourself up, especially when you're single and when you're dating. And regardless of my loss and my history, yes, I am dating. If I never find anyone that I connect with to the point of marriage, then I'm going to be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already had my dream wedding. I already had my dad walk me down the aisle. I already experienced having the love of my life. And now my life is all about me. And so I'm going to get out here and date. So I can feel Lauren London. Now let's switch over to all this drama with our other favorite widow. Yep, y'all already know it. Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa Bryant. I don't know what to believe. This rumor has been going around for almost a month that she is pregnant. I don't know if it's true or not. Now, ironically, when Lauren London was grieving, the first few months of her grief, a similar rumor came out about her. And she tweeted. Let's pull the tweet up. Here it is. She addressed it. Point blank, period. I am not pregnant. Okay, because people would just make shit up. Now, I have not heard Vanessa Bryant dispel these rumors. You know, I'm not sure when this is going to air and if we need to be corrected, but I haven't seen her dispel this. But the rumor is that she's pregnant. Listen, Vanessa Bryant has a special kind of grief. Her grief is what is commonly referred to as layered grief. That means she lost more than one person. And I have a similar experience with layered grief because once my husband died, I never saw my stepdaughter again. She was taken completely out of my life. So when he died, you know, she left also. And so it was a form of layered grief that, you know, I managed to deal with. And at the end of the day, I'm okay. But that cannot be nearly as impactful as losing your husband and one of your children. And so we know that, maybe we don't know, but let me explain that what grief is uncharted love. It's love that has nowhere to go. You know, you love someone so much and then they're gone and there's nowhere to give your love to. And so it's very common for mothers who have lost children to have more children because that's a way to channel or assign that love. And so that's, if she is pregnant, then that's where I think that will go. And listen, y'all cannot stop judging people. You know, oh, she finna have a baby by a regular nigga. Look, let that woman be happy. Can you imagine the pain and agony that this woman is dealing with after losing her husband and her daughter? And then she had all this beef with her family. Her mother was trying to sue her for some money over some petty shit, talking about she owed her some money. So, you know, one thing that people don't understand is when somebody dies, when you lose a loved one, you lose way more than them. I lost so many friends and so many members of my family that I thought were going to be in my life forever. But grief changes you. When you lose a loved one, you change. You're not the same person. I'm not the same person I was before my husband died. I'm a whole different person. That's why a lot of times when couples experience a child that dies, whether the child is young or old, most marriages don't survive child death because they end up breaking up because they changed. They're different people. And so, you know, stop being so critical on Vanessa. I don't know if she's really pregnant or not. At the end of the day, I hope she's doing whatever she needs to do to make herself happy. So if she's having another baby and that's what she wanted and that's something that can bring her joy amidst all of the pain that she's experienced, good for her. Leave her alone. I think that she'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? And you know, obviously, if she's pregnant, she's obviously dating again. Like, how long was she supposed to wait before she got some? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I waited a respectable amount of time, and I didn't want to have sex. I just needed to make sure everything still worked down there. You know what I'm saying? Because what if I got to the point where I wanted to, and then my shit didn't work, you know, and I wouldn't have knew. Like, at least I could have prepared for it. So that's the only reason why I did it. And I didn't enjoy it. You know, it It was honestly a terrible experience because I just really couldn't focus. I felt so much guilt. I kept thinking about my husband. I kept hearing him in the back of my mind talking shit. So I couldn't even focus on the sex. And so it was just really, really whack. And trying to find somebody that had that body Nick had, because Nick's body was banging, baby. He was, and just, whether you want to or not, people stop acting like you can avoid it. You're going to compare it. Women, we compare sex partners to people that's alive. So imagine trying to have sex with somebody new after you done lost your spouse and you've been sleeping with them for all of these years. And now you coming to somebody new, oh boy, it was just a disaster, y'all. And so Nick was in my head, and I kept listening to him in my head saying things, and then I started trying to talk back to him, and I was like, stop and shut up. And dude thought I was talking to him, and he was all like, well, I'm like, not you, nigga. And it was just a mess. It was like a threesome, really. It was like 3 people there. Anyway, yes, I've moved on. Yes, I have started dating, and listen, these dating streets, baby, pray for us. Pray for all the single ladies, because these dating streets is rough, okay? The dating streets are rough, but I think how I'm able to survive them, hold on one second. I think that I survived these dating streets is because it's fun to me. It's fun to meet new people. And some people that I meet and date, I'll never have a love connection with. I'll never have a relationship with. I'll never have anything, more than some lettuce wraps with, And then there's some people that, although we may not be a match, we could be friends, I dated somebody for, several months, and I was just so not ready to be out here dating. I was just so dumb and blind. It was like being a young teenager that was just going for shit. And it was just so, it was good because during the time that I met this guy, I met him at Home Depot, working on a lot of my crafting projects. And we ended up hitting it off and dating, and it was so many red flags, shout out to Nick Carthan. We gonna hear red flag being tossed around a lot, and I'm still in his background. So it was so many red flags that I just blatantly ignored because I was just so happy to be in the company of a man. I was just so happy to be taken out on dates. And this was an older guy, so he was a lot more mature than my husband in a lot of ways. And so I was, excited to have somebody that can do some of the things that my husband couldn't do, like teach me certain things. Like, he was older, he was established, and he was more of a, professional blue collar type, and he helped me with a lot of things. I admit that. But the shit that I dealt with is stuff that only somebody grieving would deal with. I'm just thankful to God that I did not allow myself to get caught up in, I want to have a man so bad I'm going to deal with this shit, to the point where I allowed myself to be used and manipulated. And so I appreciate the good things about the relationship and the bad things as well, and I appreciate the fact that I was smart enough to get out before I got tremendously emotionally or financially invested. I remember, I never will forget, I would test this guy. So we got to the point where he was all over my house when I would be out of town, and I would test him. I remember I left some money, a couple of $100s out. And I was just trying to really see if he would take it or what would happen, or if I could trust him. I was in those early stages, and I got cameras all over my house. And so I could listen to like a couple of his conversations, and, he just seemed like, too good to be true type. When I tell you, that nigga took that money so quick and played dumb, like, oh yeah, I thought you left that money for me. Nigga, what? You didn't say nothing? You took the money? Like I said, it was like $300-400. You just took the money and never said anything. I was like, okay. So that was like letting me know, And I really honestly believe that Nick was looking down on me, dealing with him, and he was frowning. Because I tell y'all, my husband, I didn't, get rid of his stuff, quickly. And so when I would date guys and they would come over, they would always be impressed with his collection of workout equipment. He was a trainer. He had a whole bunch of workout equipment, a full set of weights, a bunch of different stuff. And this guy had like early morning work, and he spent the night one night, and he was all like, you think I could use, some of this workout stuff, so I don't have to go to the gym. I could just go straight to work from here. I'm like, yeah, no problem. My husband had been dead, for a while at this point. And so the next morning, he got up and I was still laying down, and he came and woke me up like, I don't know what's wrong, but the light won't work in there. I can't get the light on. It's dark. And I'm like, what do you mean? Just turn the light on. He's like, I'm turning it on. Let me tell you something. My husband did something to this light, and the light would not. My husband said, you ain't finna use my shit, sir. You finna take your ass to the gym. And we could not get that light on at all. And that was my sign for my husband that he didn't want that nigga using his workout equipment. So little stuff like that happens all the time where he really lets me know that he's watching me. It's crazy. So that's the most difficult part about dating and moving on, is that I feel like I'm officially leaving him behind, and I feel like he doesn't approve, and I feel guilty because here I am living my life and moving on and dating, and he's not here. And so it's a substantial amount of guilt, and the guilt was much worse earlier on than it is now. And now it doesn't affect me as much, which I'm not a jump in the bed with every type of dude, type of chick anyway, you know what I'm saying? And so it's not like I'm out here sleeping with a bunch of dudes and all of that, but just being happy, I remember the first time I laughed at a dude, I laughed at this dude. When I tell you it was thunder and lightning and it wasn't even raining or nothing, I'm like, oh, he didn't like that shit. All types of little signs be going on to let me know that he watching, and that just makes it so awkward. But at the end of the day, I did not die. And so as much as I can relate to Lauren London's statement and how she feels, I can also kind of feel the same way that Doughboy, that's loud. Doughboy.
Doughboy.
You fucking up the production.
Hey, you boy over here praising like I'm praising.
So we're gonna be looking for another producer next week. No, but I was just saying that. What was I saying? I lost my track of train. I thought I got ADD.
Moments where he's looking down and you can just like kind of tell.
Yes, yeah. I often have these moments where I can tell that he's looking down on me, and I go through a lot of guilt and I go through a lot of mixed emotions, but it's been 4 years and it's getting better. It's not as bad as it was, but at the end of the day, I did not die. So I will continue to date. Will I ever find love again? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I do think. I do think that if I do ever find love again, if I do ever get in a relationship with someone again, where I'm in a committed, monogamous relationship, I think that the guy will definitely be in the entertainment industry. I don't think that he will be a comedian, because I'm like over comedians, and Nick was like the finest one. All the rest of these niggas is ugly. So I can't see myself ever being interested in another comedian. But I think that the way my life is set up, I'm doing a lot with my life now. I just finished filming season 3 of Miss Pat Settles It. It's going to be an amazing season. I'm still very active on the road. I'm a road comic. I'm doing this podcast now. When someone is not in the entertainment industry, it's difficult for them to understand my life. It's very difficult for them to understand my life. And one of the things about my husband is that he had a full, complete understanding of my life, how it worked. He was extremely supportive. And that was a major plus for our marriage. I was supportive to him in his career. He was supportive to mine. And that was one of the things that made our marriage magic. And so if I were to ever find someone, I think that it would have to definitely be, like I said, definitely not a comedian. It may even be a cameraman, who knows? But somebody that understands how this industry works, because this is a very unique industry to be in. And you think that you got it all figured out and know how our lives work until you're actually inside of our lives. I have days that I don't get any sleep at all. I just go, go, go. And then I have days where I completely shut down and I can sleep and relax and do nothing for 2 days. And so it's different, even just being a stand-up comic where I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Most people work Monday through Friday, and so I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a typical schedule for me. And so it's like the opposite of most regular people. And the guy that I was dating, he just had a regular job. He didn't understand. He was like, why do you have to dress like that? And does everything have to be so flamboyant? And it was like, dude, you just, no offense to any other regular dudes out here. We love y'all too. You make the world go round. But he just didn't understand the entertainment industry, And one thing about most men who are controlling, because the dude was really controlling. Most men who are controlling are insecure. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Most men who are controlling are very insecure. And so, nobody that has any ounce of insecurity in them will ever be able to deal with me and my lifestyle. Because I'm out here, baby. I'm loud, obnoxious, flamboyant, the center of attention, and when I tell you, you think that I have to beat the men off of me, because I'm so fine and fly, but it's the women. Damn, women, leave me alone. I know a lot of widows. I'm a part of this widow community, and I know a lot of widows who have actually gone to dating women after losing a spouse. And it ain't nothing, listen, this show, we love everybody, LGBTQRSTUV, nothing against anybody. But I just can't see myself going to the other side. I can't see that much grief. I had to lose my whole family before I started eating pussy. That's what I'm basically trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But the women be on me, baby. They be on me. Come on to the other side. No. Before we get into our report card session, y'all, I want to tell y'all something that I feel like will help you if you're going through grieving, if you're going through a tough time. Something that really helped me was writing. I think it's important to journal when you lose someone. And one of the most important things about journaling is seeing how much you've grown. If I look at the notes in my journal from when Nick's death was a month fresh versus when I journaled about it a couple of weeks ago, which I don't journal as much as I used to. But it's just like night and day. Those feelings that I had of despair, I was experiencing chest pains where I had to go to the emergency room because my chest was just so tight and I felt like I was dying, and it was grief. And, I've just come so far. And so one of the things that helped me has been journaling. And I have journaled on a whole nother level. So let's talk about this other level that I have journaled on. See, I didn't mention this last weekend because last week when I did the first week, but your girl, in addition to the comedian extraordinaire and the actress and the writer, I'm also a best-selling author. So I participated in this book. This is an anthology, and where my little picture is on here somewhere. We'll get some steals of the book. But I participated in this anthology, and the name of it is And Then She Bounced Back, Standing on Broken Pieces. And this is an anthology written by 5 different widows, and these are our stories. And so this did land on the Amazon's best-selling book list, and so I'm a best-selling author. You know what I'm saying? So there are several different stories in this book, and so you can go onto Amazon and find this book once again. And Then She Bounced Back, Standing on Broken Pieces. You can get this book. I did sell it on the road for several months. I no longer sell the book on the road because I made my money off of it, and I don't need to do that no more. But if you are interested, I do have a chapter in this book And the chapter does go into, it's an abbreviated piece of my story and how I got over. So I want to encourage people. And this was a journaling exercise for me. This was a writing exercise for me. And I remember procrastinating and waiting till the last minute to get my chapter in because I was really going through and I really wanted to feel it. And after I wrote it, I did feel better. Moving right along to Phenomenal Girl, That's You. Letters to My Younger Self. This is my most recent anthology. This is a book by Dagny Barton. Yes, Mommy Barton. This is her fourth book. And Dagny is my mommy. And this is a book filled with letters that women have written to their younger self. And so I have an amazing chapter in this book. Please go and purchase this book right now. If you would like to get an autographed copy of this book, you can send an email to butdidyoudie@gmail.com and I will get you guys an autographed copy of it. If you just want a copy of it, you can definitely just go on Amazon and purchase this book on Amazon. The letters to my younger self that I wrote were really funny and they were really impactful. And this is an additional writing exercise that I began to do. In addition to writing these, participating in these amazing books, I also was a punch-up writer on the Miss Pat Show, season 2. Miss Pat, everybody know Miss Pat from Miss Pat Settles It. Is one of my real good friends. And listen, I never will forget when Nick first died, and I would be doing all of those sad posts. Just like, God, why take my husband? Oh my God, my posts were ridiculous. I was like, why would you take my husband? This was all I had. That I love him too much. Is this why you took him? I was so vocal on social media, but I didn't know what to do. I was in pain. I was like, oh God. And she would call me like, bitch, I'm about to block you if you post one more sad fucking video. You about to have me over here crying. I got a fucking meeting in 10 minutes. You got me over here crying. Stop it. And I'm like, I can't stop. I'm so upset that she was all like, bitch, you're going to be okay. God damn. Just, let it go. Shit. He's gone. That baby is gone. Fucking move on. I'm like, God damn. Talk about tough love. And it hurts when most people say things like that to you, but this is her way of showing love. This is all that she knows is how to curse a motherfucker out. And so I was flattered that she loved me so much. And so she brought me on as a punch-up writer for her show, the Miss Pat Show, season 2. So I was a punch-up writer, and I punched up about 5 or 6 episodes of that. And during that time of grief, it was so good for me because I was able to be on set and be around people and get out the house. And so I went to Atlanta and did that. It was a great project. And before I left, I did write a full episode. And I'm a really fast learner. And so I picked up really quick on how the episodes were constructed. And so I did write an episode. The episode did not get used in they didn't use the episode that I wrote, but it was very therapeutic for me to write the episode. And the episode was ultimately about something that I experienced with my husband, with him dying. And I kind of transferred that medical emergency onto the script, and I wrote an episode about it. And it was a great episode. She loved it. Jordan Cooper, the other executive producer, loved it, but they weren't able to put it together because it involved some cast members that weren't able to come back in and film. But it was a writing muscle that I used. Writing is a muscle. The more you write, the better you get at it, the more you strengthen that muscle. And so I just want to encourage people to write and to journal, whether you're going through a time of grief or whether you are going through a breakup or feeling bad about something, or whether you're frustrated about something on your job. Girl, write that shit down, and you'll feel better. So Let's jump right into our report card session. Listen, I love the feedback that I got from the report card session, and I'm excited that you all are excited about it. So if you're just tuning in, the report card session is the segment of the show where we go into my report card. And listen, my report card has 4 C's and 2 F's. And even though it's a failing report card, I did not fail. The 4 C's represent the 4 things that begin with the C that help bring me to the point that I am in my grief. And that is comedy, cooking, crafting, and Christ. Every single show will give a shout out to Jesus Christ, who brought me out of darkness into light. And ultimately, it was my Lord and Savior who saved me from my grief and despair. The 2 F's, baby, that's fashion and food. And last time we had a key. Looking at all the food that I had cooked for the past few weeks for my podcast staff. I appreciate you guys for being behind the scenes and coming into my home, into Ghetto Girl Productions, and getting this done. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get into the report card session, and the letter that we're working with today is F, and that F today is for fashion. And baby, listen, it's everything but a fail, okay? Because the fashion going to pass every time. Y'all saw my little outfit from last week. My outfit from this week is cute as well. And so we're going to take a dip into Carmen's closet. Now listen, I want to tell you all that this closet has so much history, and there's so much history behind when I created this closet, because the closet was created from a very sad place. So what Carmen's closet lives now used to be my stepdaughter's room. So when I first moved to this place that I have, it was my daughter's room. My daughter grew up, moved out, and then when I met my husband, and he had a daughter, and we got engaged, and we had joint custody of her. So she lived with us, half the time, and she lived with her mom half the time. So she had her room here, and it was nothing sadder than walking past that room. Oh my goodness, it was just so sad, because I would walk past, and she would be in her bed and be like, she was like just a little princess, and she would be like, Carmen, can I have some more juice, or whatever she would want, and it was just so difficult for me when my husband died and she was taken from me, and I was unable to see her again. So instead of living in that sadness, I decided to create something else with that space. Here's a brief video of the original glam room. I took my stepdaughter's room and I transformed it into a closet, and it was just an amazing project. I did it all on my own. I had the closet people come out and give me a quote, and when she wasn't looking, I took a picture of her design, and I told her never mind, I did it myself. Baby, listen, this is the Ghetto Studios where we do this. So I took the design, I did it all myself, and the structure may not be as good as it would have been if they would have did it, but I think it turned out pretty good. Check out this video. I did that, didn't I? So, over the years, the closet has changed, and I have done different things with it, and the closet is a little bit different now, but it's still filled with lots of love and fashion. It's an accessory closet because, in my opinion, fashion is truly all about the accessories. You can give me a $8 Walmart outfit, and I'm going to throw that shit on with some badass shoes, some cute accessories, a badass bag, and I'm going to step and make it look like $1,000,000. So this closet is my glam room, and it's my accessory closet, and so it's where my accessories at. So right now we're going to focus on the shoes in the closet, because listen, as I grow older, I'm 49 now, my knees ain't what they used to be. My feet ain't what they used to be. So I'm unable to wear the shoes that I want to wear. And now my red bottom collection has dwindled down, and my Jordan collection has gotten bigger. Look at a couple of the amazing pieces of footwear that I have in my closet. Okay, wasn't that cute? I know y'all loved it. And so listen, even though y'all was supposed to be looking at the shoes, I know y'all was looking at all the extra stuff in there. So check this out. Carmen's Closet is going to have a giveaway. I'm going to give away one item in my closet on my 25th episode. Right now we at 2. We're going to make it to 25, and I want y'all to join in on the ride, okay? All you have to do to be in the auction is follow, comment, like the page, send me a message on the email. Once again, that email is butdidyoudie@gmail.com, and you will be automatically entered into the raffle. Just mention the 25th episode raffle. You're going to automatically be entered in it, and we're going to have that raffle, and we're going to raffle off, and they're going to be no little earrings. It's going to be a very high-end, expensive, pre-loved item in my closet. So join in the fashion, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the report card session. Fashion featuring my glam room, how it was created, and the shoes. Now it's time for another one of my favorite segments, y'all. That's right. Comical Confessions. Listen, Comical Confessions. We had so many people write in with their hilarious comical confessions. And so we're going to probably never have any more of my comical confessions, because shit, y'all was writing in. But today, this might be my last comical confession, you know. But I'm going to give it to y'all. And next week, we're going to have a special person. I think I'm probably going to tell 2. I got so many good ones. And if you want to join the Comical Confessions and turn in your confession for a chance to win some amazing But Did You Die Though merch, gifts, I got a bunch of cute stuff that I'm going to be giving out. So if you want to join in that, just write in your comical confession, and if we mention it, we will definitely hook you up. Another way to get some fun games and prizes and participate and be one of my Carmenistas and get Carmenized and be an official DYDer is to like, comment, subscribe to the page. You will be entered and you will win shit. I'm telling y'all, next week, the whole episode is going to be me giving away free shit. So tune in, okay? So I already have prepared this story, and it kind of ties into the whole fashion segment. So I'm going to tell my comical confession. If you tuned in last week, you could see that I was the one who burnt the popcorn in the office. This week, one of my major comical confessions is going to tie into what I used to do, because people want to know, what did I do before I did comedy? What did I do before my life with my husband? You know, and, you know, as you all know from last week, I was a reimbursement analyst. And I did medical collections for a long time. But before that, one of the things that brought me to my love of fashion, I was a booster. What? Like, you ain't never stole nothing. Don't be coming up in here judging me. It is what it is, okay? I was a booster, baby, and I was good at it, baby. I had all the hot shit in St. Louis at the beauty shops. I sure did. Now, how I fell into this profession, it wasn't because I wanted to be a booster. I fell into it literally. This is how it happened. I went to Foot Locker to get my son this Nautica outfit, okay? So I got the Nautica outfit. I got it, paid cash. He couldn't fit it. I went to go and exchange it. And they was beefing with me. Like, they wouldn't let me exchange it because I ain't had no receipt. And they was just tripping. And I'm like, nah, I know this don't make no sense. So I stole the one that he could fit. So he could have the outfit. Because, they wouldn't let me exchange it. So it was what it was. And it was so easy stealing it. I was like, well, shit. Number one, I already have an extra one. So what am I going to do with the extra one that I have? And then... maybe I can make some side money. So I took the extra Nautica outfit. And I think I have a photo of this Nautica outfit with my son. He was a year old. Yeah, I have a photo. Here's the photo of the Nautica outfit. So this is the Nautica outfit that my son had. And this one, I know y'all like, damn, this don't fit either. But the other one was bigger than this, okay? So so I took the extra outfit. I took it to the beauty shop. I was like, anybody want to buy this Nautica outfit? They was all like, yeah. So I sold the outfit in like 5 minutes. And then when I went to the beauty shop the next week, they was like, what you got this week? And I was like, nothing. There was just one outfit. And they was all like, damn, you ain't got no more? And I was all like, well, shit. So I went back and I stole 2 more Nautica outfits. And I went and I to the beauty shop and I sold those. And then the next week I went to, where was it? Somewhere. And I was hustling. I started making more money boosting than I made on my damn job. I'm all like, do I even need this damn job? Shit, I done made $400 this week and shit, I only made $300 on my job all week. So it began to become a hustle that I did. And I never will forget that when my sons were, they were like maybe 5 and 6. And I had, I figured out how to go in some Marshalls and pop the sensor off. And I had got them these NBA jackets. It was leather NBA jackets with all the NBA teams on it. And with all the NBA teams on it, it was just like a dope-ass jacket. And so I'm going to try to see if I can find a photo of these leather NBA jackets to show y'all what they look like. And so I remember telling my son, Cameron, when you finna go over your daddy's house, don't put your jacket down. Don't leave your jacket nowhere. Keep your jacket with you at all times, because if you don't, somebody gonna steal it. And he was all like, well, why you keep saying somebody gonna steal it? Because I stole it. That's why. Oh, I used to boost. That's my comical confession. It might not have been that funny to you, but listen, it was my past life. I have been delivered from all that little slick shit that I used to do. And I even talk about that in the book, Phenomenal Girl, That's You, Letters to Myself. I talk about how I used to do a lot of slick shit. So grab that book, read my chapter and all the rest of the chapters. And listen, it's a wrap, y'all. We done survived 2 episodes of But Did You Die Though? Confessions of a Widow. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Listen to my crazy dating stories. Once again, please follow, like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Instagram. Send me an email, butdidyoudiethough@gmail.com. And I don't respond to DMs that much, so if you want to get in contact with me, send me an email. That's the best way. And continue to support me. Share this page, y'all. It's very important that you share this page with someone that may be going through a tough time and may be grieving, Tell them my story. At one point, I thought that I was going to die. The grief was so difficult for me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't bathe. I was up in there laid up funky. Couldn't even bathe. That's how deep down, depressed, and hurt I was. And I never imagined God using me as a vessel to help other people. And I'm going to start sharing these stories with people that have told me how much I have inspired them. And that is what inspired me to do this podcast. And so thanks again for tuning in to episode 2. I will see you guys next week with amazing episode 3. Thanks again for watching. But did you die though? Confessions of a Widow. God bless y'all. Good night.